Hello, hello. Okay, so it is virtual paint party day one, and we are going to be painting our Hello Spring farmhouse round. So, if you are hopping on, let me know that you're here and that you're hanging out with us live. If you're catching the replay, don't forget to put that hashtag replay to let us know that you came to hang out after hours. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments. I may not answer them right then and there. Hey, I might. But if I don't worry. I always come back after the live and I answer any questions that might be in the comments that I may have missed or got kind of straggled in or even came in during the replay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and paint our base coat while all of our friends are hopping on. There's no need for us to just, dilly-dally. Let's go ahead and get that part knocked out. So I'm going to go ahead and go full table. Let's put us right there. Okay, so you can, yes, ma'am.
Ronald just tear your shit up.
He tore my shed up. What'd he do to it?
The bottom part, he dug out a hole and pulled. Like this. I think.
Is it the step that goes into the door?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. It's just a pallet. So not. Hey, everyone. Super excited to be here this morning. Me too. It's going to be a good one. Do as I say, not as I do. If you notice, I'm putting paint directly on the wood, and usually that's a no-no. Okay, and I'll tell you why. It is, I'm going to use a sponge brush this time. I usually use my base coat brush, but we're going to try something else. I'm going to wet my sponge brush, not soaking wet. Hey, Ray Lynn, she just went back outside. So it is a holiday today. It is what, President's Day, I think is it President's Day? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's President's Day, but they're out of school regardless, right? They're out of school. And so that she may be running in and out. She's outside playing. She is patiently waiting to go to a play date. I told her she had to wait till we were done here before I would reach out to the mama and make plans with the mama. The mama is just waiting on my phone call. Hey, sweet friend, how are you doing? So, y'all, if y'all have not already granted, I use a program that helps me do the whole picture-in-picture fanciness thing. If you have not granted it, what is going on here? What is that? Permission for me to see your name. Let me show you what it kind of looks like for me. Okay, so it just says if you look down here, well, look down here, right there. It just says you Facebook user. So if you would just go ahead and grant it. You may have done it before in the past, but sometimes StreamYard does not hold its data, which, I mean, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's an annoying thing. In this moment, it's an annoying thing, but we can get around it. So if you just go ahead and grant it access, it takes 2 seconds. You just click the link in the description of the video here, and it'll grant you. Now, after it's live, like during the replay, you don't have to grant it. Like, for some reason, it doesn't care anymore. But there you are. Hey, Deborah. How are you doing this morning? It's almost lunchtime where I'm at. It's 11 here. And every day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I say every day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we will be going live here on my page to do projects. Now, this project right here is a free project to you. If you want to put the word spring down in the comments, if you have not already grabbed this free, your free files for this, you get the template, the JPEG, and the PNG. Go ahead and put the word spring down in the comments, and I'll come back after the live and give you the link to where you can snag this for free. I'll also link it to where you can get the wood cutout as well, where you can purchase a cutout. Say you're not a digital girly. Say you just want a cutout delivered directly to your door. I totally get that. Like, we have the availability for you to purchase a wood cutout. And the good thing about where we get our cutouts, they're totally affordable. Like, they're your mic is staticky. Oh gosh. Let me get this base coat done, and I'll see what I can do about that. If I stop halfway through the base coat, oh, it may be my brush. When I stop painting, does the static go away? tell me if it does. It may be the brush because it's a different brush. I'm not a big fan of, no, it doesn't. Okay, give me just a second. I don't want to stop halfway through this base coat because then it'll get like really gloopy on me. So, okay, there we go. I bet you it's just, let's do this. Stand by. We got to let that dry anyways. It's not a virtual paint party if there's not technical difficulties, huh? How about now? Is that better? Ooh. Hello? Oh. There's an echo there. Works. Is that better? Is that better? Hello? Let's see if that works. Hello? Out in like a little bit, but hopefully it'll last until we're done here. This one doesn't take too terribly long to paint. The thing that takes the most time is the setup. So we do have, I'm just spreading out some of my brush strokes here. All I'm doing is a white base coat just to make my pink pop. And there is a white base coat in the stripe. Okay, so that's what it was. It was like competing with all the things. These headphones are almost dead. And a lot of times when we use the picture-in-picture, worst case scenario, I just take my picture-in-picture away. No biggie, right? No biggie. We will make sure everything is up and running for Wednesday's live. Now that we know that the technical difficulty bug is, I'm not immune to it. It never fails. It drives me absolutely bonkers whenever I plan something extra fun and extra special. I always have technical difficulties. So, all right, second coat, white always, 100%, even with chalk paints when you're base coating. There are some good chalk paints out there that are one coaters, but you're gonna spend a pretty penny for them. Okay. So white always needs a second base coat. Okay, we tried to survive with the. I don't know who. Like I don't know how people who use sponge brushes survive with them. That's driving me crazy. One, the scratchiness is driving me crazy. Two, the paint just does not spread out. Oh, that's warm water. I forgot I used warm water in my glitter cup today. All right, we're going to Old Trusty. All right, my 2-inch Folk Art base coat brush. It's the only Folk Art brush that I use, and it's only because the sturdiness of it and the width of it. It's the perfect size for a base coat brush, especially if you do like paint parties. Hey, Macon, how you doing? It's the best for like paint parties, and it's the best for like a real quick sloppy base coat when you really want to just dive into the actual fun of the project. Okay. So far, we've only done a white base coat. So if you're just not hopping on, you haven't missed much. We've had more technical difficulty than we have. Y'all let me know if we get some more staticiness. I do not want y'all to have to deal with that. There's always dry time that we can work between to get all that technical stuff sorted out. Okay. like I said, we're speeding through a second coat because we did a really good job on our first coat. That's why, like, rule 101, do a good job on your first coat, and all the next coats will go on that much quicker, that much smoother. I call it a firm foundation. Give yourself a firm foundation to work with, and the rest of the house will just throw itself up. All right, there's our second coat. Now, we will have to blow dry this one. We should have blow dried the other one, but I felt like we had plenty of time to work with trying to fix the audio. I wish I could listen, but I'm at work. Girl, you need to bring you some headphones. Now, while we're blow drying, if you have any crappy friends that are coming up on their lunch break, why don't you go ahead and hit that button down below that spreads the good word that we are live today doing our free virtual paint party, and have them come join us. We are going to be going live every other day. I might even pop in on Tuesday and Thursday, but we probably won't be painting. We'll be doing other projects. I'll be going live every other day. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, live during the virtual paint party. But don't worry if you can't catch the live, or if you can only catch a snippet, you can always come back later and catch the replay. All you got to do is put that hashtag replay in the comments to let me know that you came and came to hang out with us after hours. And if you put the word spring down in the comments, I'll come back and link to where you can get not only the free digital files, the template, the JPEG, supply list, which I forgot to grab off the printer because I wanted to show you what all comes in the package. And again, it's a free package. You do not have to pay for anything unless you need a wooden blade. I'll also link, if you put the word spring down in the comment, I'll also link where you can find the wooden cutout, and you can get it in any size you want, from 4-inch to 24-inch. I'm painting a 20-inch. Anytime I paint around 9.9 times out of 10, it's going to be a 20-inch. Most of my other door hangers are a little bigger than that, but I like anything that's as big as it is wide. I like it to be about 20 inches because it takes up a lot of surface. They get really big on your door. Now, like anything with a ribbon leg, I like them to be at least 20 inches without the ribbon. And the ribbon, the legs, add that extra little length, but they make it so much cuter. All right, again, we're just blow drying this white base coat for 2 reasons. We're going to do a half of a third coat, not a full third coat, half of a third coat. We're going to do that just to kind of clear out some brush strokes. And then we want to do painter's tape, okay? Painter's tape requires absolutely bone dry base coat, okay? Nothing, not the undercoat, nothing. It can't just be dry to the touch. It needs to be bone dry. So how's everybody's day going? Are y'all having a good day? Did y'all have a good weekend? Tell me what your plans are coming up. It's feeling like spring outside. Raylyn is playing her little heart out outside, and she's having a blast. The weather is so nice. We haven't had a lot of rain in the last week, so everything's finally dried out to the point that she can go out in the backyard and play. All right. I have this one little spot right here, and it's driving me crazy. You can't see it. It's down here off camera. This one little spot. Now, something she has learned how to do is that she has discovered if you wet the glass door to our back door, it will, paper will stick to it. What she hasn't figured out is as soon as that water dries, it's no longer sticky. So this little curl right here, this is driving me crazy. It's like, I see it in the camera and I feel like it's giving me this really weird, so y'all bear with me as I try to figure my life out on that one. It's only on my end. The sound is a little scratchy. Tried to shift from YouTube to Facebook, but it's the same. Sorry if oh no, it's not yours. Okay, I bet you. Let me see. Hello? No, this is still working. has the sound kind of messed up for anybody else at this point? I know in the beginning it was, and it may be that I was using this. No, it shouldn't be scratched. I swear, the sound is fine, other than me keeping myself muted. The sound is fine any other time, but anytime I plan something extra, super duper special, the sound always wants to sabotage me. That's just the devil that's just the enemy getting in the way. He knows that we're about to have a whole lot of fun, and he don't want us having that. Hold on. Okay, so it's extra scratchy. You know what? We're just not gonna, you know what? Bear with me. This has got dry. It's still not dry to the touch. Give me 2 seconds. Let me throw a third base coat on here, and I will take the picture out. Y'all don't need, my hair is driving me crazy anyways. So y'all give me 2 seconds, okay? While that's drying, I will take the picture out, and we will proceed on without that. Because I promise you, that's probably just what's going on, is that all the audio is trying to compete with itself, and it doesn't know which one. It's kind of like when you're wearing your Apple Watch and you turn on your car, if you do Bluetooth in your car, and all of a sudden they're competing on which one does the phone talk to. Are we dealing with the Apple Watch? Are we dealing with the headphones? Are we dealing with the car? Give me just 2 seconds. Get this third coat on here. We're going to wet this a little bit to make this third coat go a little further without having to use more paint, because we really don't need more paint. We just need to spread it out smoother. But y'all hang with me, okay? It's not too bad. No, it's not too bad, but y'all, it would drive me nuts. It would drive me absolutely bonkers. So I don't want you to have to go through that. Okay. So let me get this on here, and while this dries, it's just a couple of buttons. So it's not that big of a transition. Let's see. Okay. Okay. There we go. I'm not worried about this right here because flowers are going over it. Okay. So while that dries, let me get all the paint off my hands before I get it on one of my favorite sweaters, because I'm a rebel. All right, let's go. Let's go layout. Open the door. She locked herself out. Goodness gracious. Mercy me alive.
Mama,
Yes, ma'am.
I saw a really, really real.
What? Does that fix the sound?
No!
Well, I think you saw a hawk.
No,
Okay, she saw an eagle, y'all. She saw an eagle. Really, it was a hawk. Hey, sorry for the... Let's see. She saw a hawk. We get hawks in our backyard all the time, especially when Roma was little. Y'all, I was nervous to let him out. Now, he's a German Shepherd, so he's okay now. Let's see. How's that? Is the sound a little better? Now, y'all remember, we need this to be completely bone dry. For a little better. Okay, a little better. I'm sorry. It really does bother me that it's not being perfect. But you know what? Perfection is unachievable. It's non-existent. There's only been one person in this world that's been perfect, and I'm not him. So I just have to accept it. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just truck on. We're not going to let the enemy steal our joy. I'm mentally having to regroup. So while we're blood drying, I'm going to just kind of but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Hopefully it's just a Facebook thing. because I've like doing that should have fixed it, but hopefully it's just a Facebook thing. And during a lot of times, when there is audio problem and it is a Facebook thing, when during the replay it's gone, and I've never understood that. So here we go. We're still not 100% dry here. I still see some shininess right here. If I could do like this, you can kind of see. Yes, blame Facebook. Yes, we will take it. You know, throw Facebook under the bus. It's so not me. Okay, it's so not me. I promise. It's probably me. A hawk tried to snatch my mom's Yorkie puppy off of the porch not too long ago. I'm telling you, it was terrifying. And like the moment we brought Romo home. Romo's a German Shepherd, but when he was a puppy, he was the runt. And I love the runt of a litter. They are always my favorites. I brought Romo home, and it was like we never saw hawks before that. But like the second we brought Romo home, there's 3 hawks just circling our backyard. And I'm like, they're looking for my puppy. They think he looks yummy. My mom was sitting on the porch, and it didn't get. I'm telling you, they don't. They have no shame in their dinner game. Okay, it's still a little wet over here. See, like that right there. That's fresh paint. So our next step will be laying down some painter's tape. I'm going to show you a trick because my painter's tape is one size. Okay, I deal with one size painter's tape. I do have multiple sizes. I missed the beginning of the live. I went back to sleep after feeding Lizzie and Gracie May. Are you going to be early every day? Did you just paint the background? Yes, we just painted the background with white, Sheila. I'm going to be live painting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't worry, you can always catch the replay. They will be available as long as Facebook holds them live, right? But don't be surprised if I pop in on Tuesday and Thursday with a little extra something, okay? I have a bunch of things tucked up my sleeve for us this week, okay? But painting, we will be painting Monday, Wednesday, Friday of this week. And spoiler alert, everything's going to coordinate. Every project is going to coordinate. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you would like to have this design, it's a free design, okay? If you would like to have this design, put the word spring down in the comments. And after the live is over, I'll come back and I will link where you can get this design for free. You'll get the JPEG, the printable template, and the PNG, the color PNG for a mock-up. And you'll be able to cut your own out on wood and paint your own. Or if you would prefer, just buy a wooden blank in the size that you prefer. Then it will also contain the link to where you can go and purchase wooden blanks that are etched. You can have it with or without the words. Fancy, right? I know. Okay, so now that we've got this, it's still not dry right here. I don't know what it is about this section of the wood. It does not want to dry. Now, when you touch it and it's cold, like everything should be room temperature once it cools down from the blow dryer, right? But if you touch it and it's cold, it's not dry. That would be scary. Wouldn't it be? It would be terrifying. It would be terrifying. We spent probably the first 6 months for him to get some, to get some meat on his bones, for him to be a little too heavy for a hawk to just swipe up. We spent the first 6 months making sure that we went outside with him. We did not want him going outside without us because we just knew the second we left him unattended, he was getting swiped up by a hawk, and then I would have been devastated. What do we need to do? What do we need to comment to get the template? The word spring. Just put the word spring down in the comments, and I will come back after the live and I'll link everything. The printable template, where you can get the blanks. If there's anything important that we talk about, I'll link that too, so you don't have to go searching the whole interwebs for it. If there's something fancy schmancy that I'm using and someone's asked about it, I'll link that too. A lot of times people will ask me where I get my water bottle from. I link that as well. Like it's a buffet. When you put the word spring, it's like a magic word, and you get a buffet of links, and you just pick the one that's most important to you. So a lot of times you'll get that buffet, and you'll have to hit the see more to find what you're looking for, but it's all there, I promise. Okay, so our painter's tape. This is Dollar Tree painter's tape. It's fancy, I know, y'all. I'm a big spender. All right, so I buy the Dollar Tree painter's tape. It's my favorite. Is it the best? Absolutely not. You get what you pay for, but it's cheap. I've had rolls of it for years, and it has not gone bad. Like it's not too sticky, but it's sticky enough. It's a good middle grade painter's tape. And I'm going to find 2 letters. I have an etched blank, so I'm going to find 2 letters, and I'm going to line my tape up on those letters, because really the only thing that's going to make it look uneven is the words. So I'm going to line it up on the words. Okay, so here's my way of getting perfectly spaced out, thicker, stripes. So if you notice, these are kind of thick, okay? These are not this wide, okay? I don't want skinny stripes. I want wide stripes. So how wide is that tape? This is probably, hold on, I've got a ruler. This is 1.5 inches. It's about 1.5 inches. Oh, there we go. Roughly. Little shy of 1.5 inches. So our stripes are about, good morning, Sheila. So Deanna, it's about 1.5 inches. I've been using the same tape for years. All right, so I've got, I'm brainstorming here. I should have took a picture when I painted the first one. If I put this here, I take that up. I need 2. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do 2 spacers. All right, there we go. Got to get my life together. Sometimes you have to put the puzzle together in your brain before you move forward. So we've got 2 spacers. So I've got my original line, 2 spacers, okay? This is the only part where you really kind of want to pay attention, okay? Everything else is just paint and water. This right here is the most technical part of this design. Is laying, if you don't have 3-inch painter's tape, and if you have 3-inch painter's tape, I want to know what you do for a living, because 3-inch painter's tape is expensive, and I ain't got that kind of budget. But no, for real. If you have 3-inch painter's tape, that's cool. I'm jealous. But if you don't, we can makeshift 3-inch painter's tape. So now we have our first row, okay? And I'm cheap, so I'm not gonna like, and I really don't think I probably do have enough. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could go boop boop be doo. Well, I'm probably gonna do it. It's Dollar Tree, right? It's $1.25 plus some change with the tax. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my stripes up. Usually I would just reuse the same painter's tape, but I'm going to reuse my spacers. So all I'm doing is I'm going to put my spacers there. Okay, let me move my camera so you can see that. Okay. And then I'm going to put my spacers over here. These spacers help me keep nice, level, symmetrical lines. Okay. Other than that, they're going to end up in the garbage. We're not going to use them for anything. That's why I made them really small. I don't make my spacers very big. Okay. And boop. Go. Go. And I think I'll have just enough painter's tape to get this taken care of. And don't worry if they're absolutely perfect stripes. No one's going to be measuring your stripes. If they're standing at your front door, okay, if you've been painting with me for a while, you know what I'm about to say. If they're standing at your front door and they're like, oh my goodness, her door hanger stripes are wonky, then they're not our friends. They're judging us, and we don't let them in our house, okay? They're not our friends, and we don't need that kind of negativity in our creative lives, right? So if someone says, oh my gosh, your stripes aren't perfect, well, baby, neither are you. That's your comeback, okay? When someone says your polka dots aren't perfect, neither are you, and I love you. I've had plenty of experience with my sister. She goes, oh, da 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 da. That's not perfect. Da 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 da. Well, neither are you, and I still love you. Sarah Louise, I'm sorry. If y'all know my sister, y'all know y'all know our relationship. It's a snarky relationship. We're 13 months apart. We were never meant to get along. We weren't built for that kind of life. Okay. So I've got and I'm going to do this just for good measure so I don't accidentally paint it. That really didn't need it. If I was really, okay, like I said, we're done. Okay. That was trash. We're going to throw it away. Oh, and we still had just a little bit of tape left over. That's exciting. All right. Let's put that in our trash pile, which right now is the floor, and I'll clean it up after we're done painting. If you're just hopping on, let me show you what we're painting. It's our free virtual paint party. You can put the word spring down in the comments, and I will come back after the live and link where you can find all the things involving the printable template, the JPEG, where you can find the wooden plank. I'm painting a 20-inch wooden blank. You can also find the supply list. It's the paint list, it's the paint list, the brush list, everything that I'm using as far as this door hanger goes, and it's all free except for the wooden blank. If you need a blank, then obviously that's not. But everything digital is free. So, all right. So this is Poodle Skirt Pink, my absolute favorite baby pink. There's a couple in the Deco Art line, but this one's my favorite. And all we're going to do is we're just going to take our brush, again, our handy dandy base coat brush, and we're just going to lay a base coat of Poodle Skirt Pink on these bare lines. All right, I'm going to make sure all of my painter's tape edges are nice and pressed. If bleeding is an issue for you and you want to reduce bleeding, you could always take an extra step here and lay down a quick little base coat of white paint so that it seeps under the painter's tape, and you'll get a cleaner edge. My way to avoid bleeding is to make sure my brush is not saturated with water or paint. I have a nice damp brush, but not saturated, and I don't have too much paint on my brush. So I always like to empty it in the void. And once I have it nice and spread out, I take the rest and I empty my brush over the painter's tape. Okay. I'll empty it in the void, get the majority of the paint off. And I start spreading it, and I never go into the tape. Never go into the tape. Always go with the tape or into the wood, okay? Otherwise, you are pushing. If you go into the tape, you are pushing that paint in under there. You're basically just saying, I want you there, okay? So it's my best painter's tape advice that I can give you if you want to avoid doing. Am I worried about getting an absolutely perfect coat here? No. Let me tell you why. We're going to distress it, okay? So I'm not worried about this being absolutely perfect. We're going to come back in and distress it to where our stripes look kind of distressed, but our white stripes look pristine, okay? There's a little optical illusion going on in this design. The white stripes look absolutely pristine. They're nice, clean, white, no distressing in them, but the pink one looks whitewashed. And so we're going to do that. I'm not worried about getting an absolutely perfect coat of pink paint here. So it may not take as much pink paint as you're expecting, when you get to this part. You may feel like, oh goodness, that's going to take a lot of pink paint. No, it's not. It's not. Let's see. I already have mine printed to the size I want, just not put together. I don't know what just happened there. Let's go back. That was weird. Let's see. She is less than 5 pounds. Oh, your puppy. Oh, it's a corgi. Oh, I love corgis. My son wants my daughter to have a corgi so bad. He just says that she just looks like a corgi owner. I'm like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I guess so. Is there a substitute for poodle squat? Yeah, you can use baby pink, or you can take carousel pink and ghost it out. So I mean, like that's a nice bright medium pink, and if you ghost it out, meaning mix it with white, a lot of white, okay, you'll get close to this color. Close, but no cigar. But yes, you can use baby pink. I can't remember what the apple barrel dupe for this, but it's not the same coverage. It's not as thick as this one is, so it doesn't cover as well, but it is similar in color. And I cannot for the life of me remember which one it is. All right, we're going to blow dry this completely dry, okay? Because we're going to be messing with a chip brush. And our chip brush will not do well if our base coat is wet. So we're going to leave our painter's tape down because it's going to help keep all the things organized. You can totally take your painter's tape up now, but I recommend leaving it there, okay? If it bubbles up a little bit because of the blow dryer, don't worry about it. Vintage pink, okay. Oh, man, I love vintage pink. Vintage pink is going to look a little dusty, but yes, it is a good alternative, but it's not going to be bright, okay? Vintage pink, this is not vintage pink. Oh, that's a corally color. Vintage pink has, let's see, is this vintage pink? No, this is blush pink, but see how this is kind of dusty compared to how bright and springy. You're going to get kind of that kind of effect, but I'm not going to lie, it'll be pretty. It'll be pretty. And it'll still play well with all the colors that we have, the Bahama blue. It'll play well with all the pastel greens that we got going on. So yes, vintage pink would be a really good look. Anna, that was a really good suggestion. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, it's getting nice and dry. There's a spot right here. Let me show you. Ooh, let's get you down. Get you down close. Let's see if you can see. Right there, there is just white. It's just white peeking through. And I mean, this one right here has I did not base coat this perfectly. You know what? I don't care because it's going to work to my benefit. The technique that we're about to do right here is the only spot that still needs a little. It's cold to the touch, which means it's still wet. Okay, it's wet underneath. It's dry to the touch, but it's wet underneath. Okay. All right. There we go. What was I about to say? Okay, so we're going to leave the painter's tape down only because we want to minimize the work that we have to do. All we have to do is just stress where the pink is, not where the white is. We want the white to look perfectly pristine. And we're going to take this is our chip brush. I get these at Harbor Freight. I mean, you could get them. They have really good chip brushes at Walmart. I think they're the Apple Barrel brand. Folk Art and Royal and Lane Nickel have really good chip brushes as well. But I just don't spend a lot of money on chip brushes because they get kind of grimy. And and I don't wash mine. Some people do, some I don't. All I'm doing is I'm dry brushing white over the pink. This is going to give us the illusion that the pink shiplat is kind of weathered, but the white is perfectly pristine. All I'm doing is I'm dipping my brush in a little bit of white paint and I'm tapping the majority of it off. Let me show you what I'm doing. Tap, 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 tap. And then I'm going off to the side and I'm tapping it off. We don't want our chip brush to be completely saturated. We just want enough to drag across the middle and for it to actually reach across. And I'm not using very heavy pressure. It's as if I'm sweeping the floors, okay? When you sweep the floors, you don't bend the bristles of your broom, do you? We are sweeping the floors of our door hanger, okay? So let's just sweep the floors. And one thing you don't want to do with dry brushing is start in the middle, okay? Because you're going to get like a really harsh line and it's going to be obvious. So you want to start on the edge. It's okay if the edge gets really heavy and white. It actually makes it prettier. I like when it gets a little heavier on the edge. I prefer it that way almost. I feel like it makes your dry brushing look even more noticeable. If you have any comments, put them down in the, if you have any questions, put them out down in the comments. Don't hesitate to ask. I'm here. I'm an open book. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. If you're looking for where can I find this design, you can definitely put the word spring down in the comments. And I will come back after the live is over and I will link all the places where you can find all the things that we talk about. If we talk about my spray bottle, I will make sure that you can find the spray bottle. I do not get a commission from anything that I link, okay? Everything that I link and anything that I talk about is 100% my opinion or my preference, okay? As far as the design, it is my own original design. I designed it myself and it is housed on my website. So, but it is a free design. So everything, all the information today is free to you. So ask away. And don't forget to come back on Wednesday. The dry brushing. Wait till we unveil the white stripes, because this right here, the pink in itself would have been a beautiful background. Okay, a dry brush pink. Oh, how springy! But no, wait till we unveil the white stripes, and the white stripes are going to look so crisp and clean versus the distressed pink, and it's going to make that distressing pop even more. Oh, it's just it's so scrumdiddlyumptious. It just looks good. It just looks good, girl. All right. All right, so we've got this one spot where I got kind of heavy, so we're going to blow dry that. And like I said, if you have friends that are on their lunch break right now or they're just hanging out at the house, just bored out of their mind, save them from that boredom and hit that button that spreads the good word that we're live and let them know that there's somewhere fun and crafty to hang out right now. They can come hang with us. Save them from the boredom. I'm going to show y'all something in just a second that is going to be so cute. I'm about to put it on my porch leaner. So I have this one spot that needs to dry. So I'm going to show y'all something real cute. It's just sitting over here and it keeps grasping my attention. Look how cute. And look how much this would coordinate with this pink background. I think I'm going to put this on my porch leaner. We made this in the paint studio last month. And it turned out, this whole set turned out super duper cute. And I just took my Mardi Gras cupcake off of my porch leaner that we made here on the page live a couple weeks ago. And we put some Mardi Gras feathers on it. We even put a little glitter in the beads. But now that Mardi Gras is over, Valentine's is over, it's now time to spring it up outside. And I think while we're painting this is going to go outside on my porch leaner. My paint studio fam, we had a blast painting that one. All right, y'all ready for the unveiling of the white stripes? Ready, set, look. It just looks so good. Like we could have totally we could have totally painted and de-stressed the white stripes as well. That little, isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? Kendria, isn't it like, it's adorable, isn't it? And as much rain as we've gotten over the last little bit, I do need to touch this up. I thought the flowers were going to, it could have been a stripe too, but I did not plan that very well. So let's take a flat brush real quick. Cover that up with some white paint. Just ever so carefully. We want it to be nice and neat. I was watching a TikTok live earlier. It wasn't a crafter. It was someone who was studying, but the music that they had going on was so relaxing. So I was like, oh, we'll just pause right here for a second. And it made me, the whole time that I was listening to it, I was doing my nails, to be honest. I just needed something playing in the background while I was doing my nails. And while I was just listening to it, I was like, man, I'm so jealous that we can't do that on Facebook. Facebook would shut us down. And it just makes me mad sometimes. Okay. Because I feel like sometimes there's just like that, especially when we're blow drying. I feel like at least there'd be something fun in the background to listen to. But no. No. Can't do that. All right. Now, our next step is going to be our flowers and our leaves. So let's go ahead and knock out our leaves. Honestly, because these leaves aren't tucked up underneath the flowers, if you're wondering what we're painting today, we're painting our Hello Spring virtual paint party. If you notice, these leaves are all individual leaves, okay? Normally, my leaves overlap, and I teach you how to dissect a design so that you paint it easier. These leaves do not touch, so you just pick one and go, okay? I'm going to pick an angle brush. It's about a 1/2 inch angle brush. You can pick a 5/8. That's a little bigger than a 1/2 inch, okay? I'm going to go 1/2 inch, and I'm going to pick up a pastel green. The pastel green, no, I'm lying. I'm going to pick up Hauser Medium or Hauser Light, whichever one suits your fancy. I think I'm going to go Hauser Medium. All right. And we're going to put Hauser Medium. I'm going to ghost it out just a smidge. Just a smidge. Ghosting out is just my fancy way of saying I'm adding just a little bit of white to it to kind of soften the color. Some people add white to thicken a color, but y'all watch. Okay, so that green, I'm going to get you closer. That green is going to change. That is no longer straight from the bottle green. Do you see how much it changed? That wasn't even a lot of white, okay? That wasn't even a lot. There's straight from the bottle, okay? See how dark it is? That's thickened green, okay? I'm going to add some white to thicken it. Okay, yeah, you are, but be prepared. Be prepared. It's going to change color, and it will no longer be the straight from the bottle color that you had, which is okay. That's totally okay. Okay? If anybody's judging you on the color that you use, again, they're not your friend, and we don't let them in our door, right? All right, so we're just going to take an angle brush, and we're going to go around town. We're going to go all over this door hanger, and we are just going to go base coating. That's all we're doing. We're just base coating our leaves. Do a good job on the base coat, and all other coats will come easier, okay? I'm a directional painter, so you're probably going to watch me flip this thing a million times. It's me way better than I try to paint away from my body. I'm going to go ahead and remind everybody, Raylan is home. It is a holiday. So if you hear a door open and close, she may interrupt us here and there. But she is outside playing, which is her favorite thing to do. So hopefully she's out in the backyard right behind me. I can hear her just do. She's just out there singing to herself. Okay, so we're going to paint that one. Let's see. Get y'all to where you can see everything. How's your day going? Is anybody on their lunch break? Is anybody hanging out with us while they're at work? If so, I'm sorry if I'm loud. I'm a loud person. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. I've tried a million times to lower my volume, and it's just not in me. I've always had a situation where my voice had to carry, whether I'm talking on a stage or I'm in a room and I'm trying to teach something. As far as like, I've always had camps where I've been the person on stage and I'm talking to a bunch of children, especially when I was a teenager. And then I came from a huge household. There were 5 kids plus a friend per kid at any given time. So there was always someone to talk over. And I swear, it's just not possible for me to lower my volume. Good thing our phones come with a volume button, because I don't think if it was left up to me, I just don't think I'd ever be able to master that. I've tried. I really have. My husband has to remind me sometimes. He puts his hand and he goes, "Bring it down," as if he's like manually lowering my volume for me. All right. So if you notice, I'm not being, super persnickety about it. I'm just base coating these. These leaves are going to need at least 2 coats at minimum. Okay. Earbuds for the yes, Angela is prepared. I love a good prepared woman. She says, I was prepared for this. All right. Greens always need a little extra help. So, like I said, do a really good job on your base coat. And when we come back in and messy paint these, which is what we're going to do, that's how we're going to get that really fun, variegated look to our leaves. When we come in and messy paint these, this base coat, if we do a good job on the base coat, we'll be able to have a whole lot more fun adding the actual technique to it on the second coat. Now, let me tell you, when it comes to first and second coats and building opacity, making things more full coverage, you want to fully dry and reapply, okay? Do not try going over something that's wet with a second coat. You're just going to frustrate yourself. You're going to add frustration. You're no longer going to have fun because it's not going your way. And you don't know what's going wrong. It's because it's not fully dry. So whenever we finish adding all of these leaves in, we are going to fully dry, then reapply. But when we reapply, we're going to messy paint, okay? And it's going to be so much fun. And you're going to start seeing these leaves come to life. And if you're wondering what is messy painting is just my fancy way of saying we're going to slap these on with pizzazz, okay? All right, I'm going to take a step back. Oh, this one leaf needs a little extra oomph. This one leaf does. This one right here. It looks good on camera, but I promise you, in real life, it's a little wonky, which is one of my favorite words. It drives Graham Wallace crazy. Wonky is one of my absolute favorite words. All right. Now, fully dry, reapply. This has 4 leaves down here. Let me make sure I'm not missing a leaf up here. Look at my mock-up. Make sure I'm not. All right. So hey, Marilyn. How are you doing today? We're counting leaves now. The last time I painted this, I forgot a leaf. And I told myself I would make a mental note and not do that. Okay, so there's 3 leaves up here. So there's 3 leaves. Then there's 2. Then there's 2. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're good. All leaves are accounted for. I feel like I was counting children in a kindergarten class. fully dry, reapply. All right, so far, have I lost anybody? Are we keeping up? Are there any questions? Fire away. I promise you, there's no dumb question. There is no, hey, I missed this part. And just remember, the replay will be available to watch after we're live. And again, if you put the word spring down in the comments, if we talk about anything specific that needs a link or it needs, you can't find it on the interwebs, then it'll be listed in a buffet of links with the word spring. Spring is the code word. It's the magic word today for all of things important when it comes to this design. Where can I find the free printable template? Put the word spring. Where can I find that fancy hair dryer that you're using? Put the word spring. Where can I find a wooden blank? Put the word spring. You know, you'll get a buffet of links and they'll all be labeled, and you just kind of scroll through those links and you're like, oh, that's the one I'm looking for. And you just click on it and it takes you to the part of the interwebs where it belongs. And if you're wondering where you can get wooden blanks for this one, you go to Home Creations, Milling and Signage, and then you go to the Wallace House Designs tab, and it'll be right smack there. It's one of the most recent ones that's been added. You may have to go a page back, but if you put the word spring, I'll link the exact link of where you can find it. Thank you, Deborah. Now remember, we're fully drying to reapply, okay? Fully dry, reapply. It's going to be so much fun. I, too, have a bit of crackle when she talks. Not too bad, though. We can't figure it out. We don't know if it's StreamYard, but we took the picture out, and we don't know if it's just Facebook. While this is drying, because this doesn't, well, let's try something. Let's just test drive. It may echo a little bit, so y'all just hang with me. Is that better? Is that a better sound? Okay, well, then that answers my question. I switched mics. And I was like, well, maybe if I did the other mic. Okay, so that answers my question. You couldn't hear me, so I guess the other mic. Okay, it's like you were in another room talking. Okay, is this better? Is this better? I swear, I tell you, every time I try to do something extra fun, Facebook is just like, you know what? Erica's trying to do something fun. Let's throw a kink in it. Okay, we're all good now. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our flower. No, we're not. I'm flying. Okay. We're going to add our extra special pizzazz to these leaves. Okay. So the way that we do that is what I call messy painting. No two are ever going to look alike with this. Okay. So we're going to put a much lighter shade of green next to the green that we're currently working with. Now, remember, we mixed that green. You didn't have to mix it, but I wanted to. I wanted just a nice, softer green. I'm going to take the same brush. Okay, Deborah says sounds good. Carolyn says we're good. Angela, Sheila, they're all agreed. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do what I call dirty in the brush. We're going to take our base coat color. Not a lot. I just put enough on there to dirty the brush, okay? It's not a clean brush. Then I'm going to dip the toe of my brush, which is the pointy side of my angle brush, and I'm going to okay. I've got to get this in an angle. Okay. Like I said, I'm a directional painter. I'm a directional painter, so I want it to be in a position where my hand works with it, okay? So I'm going to put the toe of my brush in the toe of that leaf, okay? And because I have the base coat color and the new color, they're going to work together. And I'm just going to paint in the contour or the shape, fancy word for shape, of the leaf. And that's it. I don't hear the crackle anymore. I don't know what happened. I have no clue where that was coming from. It has never had, not a crackle at least. We've always had audio issues left and right whenever I do a virtual paint party. But I don't know where the crackle came from. But maybe we'll figure it out. Now that we have it kind of situated, I won't mess with any settings. And for Wednesday and Friday, again, that's when we're going to go live again. All right, painting. Don't be shocked if I hop in on Tuesday and Thursday and we do an extra project, or I come in and I show you something extra fun. I will tell you something that's driving me crazy, and that is my ceiling fan in my living room. Might be the wire is crimped somewhere, but there are no wires. There's no wires. But I promise you, there's everything's. But I will say my headphones that I usually. Now that was really heavy in the light color. So if you notice, I'm sorry. Let me add this little tidbit. That was really heavy in the light color. So I'm coming back in with the darker color. And I'm evening it out. Okay. Dirtying my brush, which means I'm just putting my base coat color on there. And I'm just lightly, there's very light pressure. If I was to use too much pressure, if I was to use a lot of pressure, then this whole leaf would just change to one muddy color. We don't want that. We want just a little bit of pressure to get just a brush stroke in there. And we're getting nice variegated flowers. Okay, so this turns into this. Hey, Judy. And every time I go to pick up paint, I'm dirtying my brush with my base coat color. And I'm adding just on the toe of my brush that new brighter color. And if you're wondering what colors I'm using, put the word spring in the comments. And the paint list is included with the free digital template. Okay, the paint list is included with the. If Raylene comes in, I'll ask her to go grab my supply list off of the printer, because I did print one out this morning so that I could show you what comes with it. Ooh, that one's my favorite one so far. Every once in a while, you'll be like, ooh, that's my favorite one. I wish they all looked like that one. But like I said, no two are going to look alike. I'm not using heavy pressure. I'm up on the chisel too. I don't know if that makes a difference for anybody else, but it is the position that my brush is in. And if you're wondering, what does that mean? Up on the chisel, instead of sweeping it, I'm up like this, like a pin. And I'm almost using the very skinny part of my brush. You notice I'm north and south with my brush. I'm not off to an angle like this. And I'm just sweeping my brush with nice little brush strokes, nice light brush strokes. Okay. And so I got a little heavy on the light color. I'm going to come back in with a little bit of that darker color on my brush. Just kind of even it out. That one too. That one's really heavy on the light color. Just going to kind of even it out. Like I said, we're not trying to create a completely new color. Oh, here comes Raylene. Raylene, open the door. Turn it all the way. All the way. You're not. There you go. We just got a new doorknob What's the matter,
I
my baby?
gave you this and also an ant bit me.
Oh no, you got an ant bite. Oh, right in the middle of your fingers too. Mwah. I'm so sorry. It'll feel better. Give it just a few minutes. It's gonna.
I don't know if it was a regular ant or a fire ant.
Was it a really big red one, or was it a brown one?
I think it was brown.
Then it was a regular one, so it won't hurt near as bad
I
as
can't
a
tell.
fire one. Well, do you want something to take your mind off of it?
Yeah, maybe.
Will you go to the after I'm done painting, I'll get you a snack. Can you go to the printer real quick and get my supply list?
No.
Please.
No.
Please, can you be Mama's big helper?
What if Bella does it?
Romo doesn't have thumbs.
Yes, he does.
Can you go get my supply list? It's real quick. It's already printed. Thank you, big girl. I hope your finger feels better. No, she got me a little dandelion. All right, so we're gonna blow dry this because we're about to paint these flowers, and we don't want to drag our hand through wet paint. We're done with the leaves. Yep, that's the one. That's the one. Thank you, ma'am. So this is what your supply list will look like, and it comes with, trying to not lay it in wet paint. It comes with your paint list, your supply list as far as what brushes you may need, and then it also it has the live schedule on there. So that comes with the entire digital bundle. So you get the template, the JPEG, the PNG, and you also get the supply list. What, big girl?
I don't know if I wanted an ant pile or not.
Well, sometimes there's just a stray ant looking for a new place to put an ant pile. Mm-hmm.
Can I have
And you know what? Your daddy grilled. Well, he grilled the other night, and knowing your daddy, he didn't pick everything up. He likes to get it like 80% cleaned up, and then he leaves like just random things out there. And I bet you, is it good? It's water with a little cranberry juice. I know, right? Fancy.
Remember one time ago, you had those juices things.
Mm-hmm.
You put in that water. It was so good. I want more of those.
Well, I'll see if I can find some. Okay. Okay, so our next step is going to be painting these flowers. It's the part that most people have been waiting for, is our flowers. We're again going to be messy painting. The flowers come together so nicely. They're so much fun. We're going to start with our blue ones, and then we'll paint our pink one. And I'll tell you why. If you notice, those blue ones are tucked up underneath that pink one ever so slightly.
Use your stencil.
What if I use my stencil?
Yeah, right
No,
there.
because I want to teach you how to hand paint these because they're so easy. I know that they look intimidating, but they really aren't. They're so much fun. So we're going to paint the blue ones first. So what we're going to need is we're going to need our Bahama blue. And we're going to ghost it out just, where did you get the wood circle? I got my wood circle from Home Creations Million Signage. They house all my blanks on their website. So if you're looking for my design in blank form, I think I have, oh gosh, I'll have to go look. I want to say it's like over.
Oh, I got a great idea with this.
For sure, over 300 or 400 different designs over there.
I got a great.
I know I have over 300 or 400 designs on my website, and they have pretty much every design that I have. They have on their website.
Hey, Mom.
What, baby?
Do you like comic books?
Oh, that can't. We will show that later. Okay.
No.
Please.
I'm
What was our agreement? What was our agreement? Not to bother me, and then we would go on a play date afterwards if you were a good girl, right?
I am a good girl.
Well, you're not showing it right now. What, big girl?
You already made it.
I know.
Then
I want another one. Why can't I have another one? So I'm just ghosting this out, which just means I'm adding white to it. We just want a lighter color than what comes out of the bottle. Okay. Raylin, put everything back. You are testing buttons, big girl.
I'm just looking inside of
I'm
it.
asking. It's just paper. That's all it is. Yep. Nothing special there. Okay.
Okay. Ooh.
So that is just a little lighter than Bahama blue. Okay. So that's Bahama blue with some white. Lunchtime is over. I will finish up the Okay, Deborah, will you have fun at work? Have fun at work. We'll be waiting for you in the replay, girl.
Oh, Mom, I see it.
Yep, you see it?
Yeah, but why do you want?
So if you don't have an etch blank, or for some reason you don't have this free printable template, all you need are blobs. If you can make a blob, aren't they amazing, Sheila? They are the absolute best. They're the absolute best, and their prices are the most affordable. I've yet to find anybody that is more affordable with their quality. Okay. Quality is one of the things I'm willing to pay for. And thankfully with them, you don't have to compromise quality with the price. All right. So again, this is Bahama Blue. Ghosted out with a little bit of white. And all I'm doing is I'm just making a blob. Okay. Now the printable template and the etched blank do have the blobs sketched out for you. Okay. So there's no guesswork with this.
Just try your best if you want to make this, actually.
That's right.
Try your best.
Just try your best. That's right, Raylan. Good job. Good advice.
Oh, look, Mama, it actually has a pattern. Look.
Yep.
Yellow, blue, pink, yellow, blue, pink.
Good job.
And it also has a simple pattern.
I'm so sorry, y'all. she
Yellow,
cannot
blue,
help herself.
blue.
That's coat number 1. And since they're on the same level, like I said, we're done. Can you let Romo in, please? Since they're on the same level, say layer. If you work with a Cricut or a Silhouette or anything like that, then a layer should sound familiar to you. That's kind of how my brain dissects a design of what do I paint first, what do I paint second. I kind of look at it as if it's like a Cricut design, and I go, what's in the furthest layer back? What do I, as if I'm building it layer by layer. I try to go in that order. Every so often there's an exception of why I don't do things in the layer as they appear.
Mom.
Yes, ma'am.
What if you spell for hello spin.
That's an R. That's an R.
Spurring.
There you go.
Spurring.
That's a cursive R.
Happy spurring.
Well, what season is coming up?
Spurring. Oh, spurring.
Yeah, sometimes reading is all about the context, right?
Happy spring.
She's learning how to read, so she has been reading everything. Nothing is safe around her right now. Yes, ma'am.
It's for happy spring. Do you want to spell happy fall?
No, we're working on spring. Fall is so far away; it's off our radar right now.
No, it isn't.
So we're gonna finish these. We're gonna finish these flowers before we move on to the center flower. We don't want to have to tuck anything in with this. We want to paint it all on its own level. Okay. Hey, why don't you go lay in my bed and watch a movie until I'm done? Where would you like to go for lunch?
We don't know.
Why don't you go think about that? Go watch a movie and think about it. Because after we're done here, we'll go grab a bite to eat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But that's only if you can behave yourself.
This is a movie.
This is not a movie. You're not behaving yourself.
It is a movie.
I see that little elbow right there.
It hurts.
All right, go lay down, please. Go play in your room. Go do something that's not right here.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. That is your last warning. I love you. Yo, we would be here forever. if we let it be the Raylan show. She loves to keep the conversation going. Not in here. You cannot watch a movie in here.
No.
You're just doing okay. We did a spa day the other day, her and I. This is our second layer. We need a wet coat, okay? Because this is a bigger element than the leaves. Baby, go watch a movie in my room, please, or go play in your room. Baby, go play in. So we did a spa day, and she wanted to do a foot bath, and that foot bath we just did a makeshift one. I got Dollar Tree tubs. They were little wash tubs, and I got Epsom salt, and we just did little foot baths. and she had a blast. And now she's got her tub back out. She's doing another foot bath in the living room. All right, so I've got a wet coat. So this is what I call a wet coat. I did a second coat, but it wasn't for coverage. Okay, this was just to have a wet layer. This is a wet on wet technique. This is a bigger element than the leaf, so it does help to have a wet layer. Okay, I've dirtied my brush with my base coat color, and I've put peacock teal on the toe of my brush, the pointy side. And now I'm going to go in and I'm kind of just loosely and with very light pressure. Okay. Gotta like just give myself some petals. Okay. Guess what? That's it. If you feel like it needs one somewhere else, throw one in there. That's it. That's the whole basis of the flower. It's not hard at all. And when it dries down, it turns out so pretty. All right. So because this has peacock teal on it, I'm going to wash my brush, get that out. I work flower by flower with this technique just because these colors do tend to dry a little faster than when I work with them. So again, I'm just throwing a wet coat, not a very thick one. It's just literally to get a wet surface because my brush will move better on a wetter surface since it is such a larger element. What do you need, baby girl?
Borrow your headphones.
No, you cannot borrow my headphones.
I want to listen what you're saying.
Oh, no, my headphones aren't working right now. I did not charge them. So sorry. I will be charging them. Now, again, dirty brush, peacock teal. Listening while working. Well, hey. And again, I'm just throwing some, they're almost like a loose cursive E. They're almost like a loose cursive E. And I'm just building layers of, there we go. And if you want to soften them up, you can go back in with just a light pressure and follow your brush strokes. Now, unless you're comfortable with that, I don't recommend it, but let me show you how it just kind of changes the look a little bit. It kind of softened it up just a little bit. But all that takes is a wet coat and 2 colors on your brush. And it makes the prettiest little watercolor flower. Now, let's look at them in their absolute glory. Now we're going to move on to the center one. And these flowers will really take shape once we get the centers on there. The centers will be what really makes them pop. Right now they look like watercolor flowers, but they look a little 2D, right? Like they look kind of flat. When they fully dry, they kind of take on a little bit more life because all these different colors of the different blues will kind of mesh together. But the centers of the flower will be what really makes it, because it'll be contrast. It'll break all these little blues up and really make it pretty. All right, so we're going to grab we want a pink that works well with this baby pink, but we don't want baby pink because we don't want to lose our flower in our stripes, right? So I'm going to use Wild Berry. It's one of my favorite pinks, but not pinks. I am going to not ghost it out. I want to leave it straight from the bottle. I'm going to use my angle brush to get myself a nice clean border. Now, don't forget the word spring will get you access to anything that we've talked about today. I will come back after the live is over and I will link all the things that we talked about so you don't have to go searching the entire internet for it. If you're looking for the printable template, if you're looking for the supply list, which is part of the printable template bundle, if you're looking for where can I find that wooden blank that she's using, that is from Home Creations Milling and Signage. They're an amazing company. that supplies all of our blank needs when it comes to Wallace House Designs blanks. They have absolute remarkable shipping and quality. A little shameless plug for my friends over at Home Creations. I can't talk more nice about them. Like I don't know what the words I'm using for. I can't sing their praises anymore than I already have. I love them so much. They do an absolutely amazing job. Absolutely. There we go. And their price, you just can't beat their prices. So the word spring will get you access to anything that we talk about. If you're wondering where we've used this a couple of times, if you're wondering where that spray bottle is, it'll link the spray bottle. It'll link the blow dryer that we're using. It's a very special crafting blow dryer. It'll link the blank. It'll link the free template. All the things. Okay, so I'm gonna switch over to. Am I gonna? Yeah, I'm gonna switch over. This is a bigger flower, so I'm gonna switch to a bigger brush. I'm gonna switch to a bigger flat brush. Okay, this is about a 1/2 inch flat. Probably about a 3/4. Let me not lie. It's about a 3/4. All right. This is going to need a second coat, but because I did such a good coat on the first coat, I'm not going to have to be as careful. Okay. I will be able to just slap that right on. Okay. I have a song stuck in my head, and now I'm just over here bebopping while I'm listening to the blow dryer blow dry. So what are y'all up to? Are y'all on a lunch break? Are you painting as well? What are you doing? If you have any questions, pop them down in the comments. I'll come back later and I'll answer them unless I catch them right now. Sometimes I'm kind of quick. I can look up and I'll see it and I'll be able to answer it while I'm painting. But y'all don't forget, Wednesday and Friday, we will be painting. We'll be here again at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're on a lunch break, plan to hang out with us on your lunch break. If you're sitting at home, set an alarm. Come paint with us. Just come hang out. Come have some girl time. Good old crafty time. Okay, so that's our wet coat. Okay, again, rinse and repeat. We're going to do the exact same steps, but this time we're going to use white. Okay, this is already a dark flower, so I don't necessarily want to go darker, but let's add some dimension. Let's add white. So I've got a dirty brush, right? I don't want it like to be sopping wet, but I've got dirty brush, which just means I have my base coat color here. I'm going to pick up white. And again, I'm just going to like very loosely add in the shape. And I'm kind of doing like a real loose W, cursive-y, wavy, curly kind of look. I don't want to go over these brush strokes too terribly much because I don't want it to be muddy. But I also don't want this white to be stark white. I want it to work in to my background color. And I think I'm happy with that. That gives it a nice little dimension. And we didn't have to work hard at that at all. I'm going to leave it alone. Our next step is our raw umber, which is going to be our centers. Desperately cleaning my craft table and putting templates together and organize. Ooh, can you come do mine next? Because that's one of my biggest downfalls is being organized over here. Raw umber is going to be our centers. We're going to ghost it out just a little bit, but kind of in a messy painting way. I'm going to go ahead and just take a brush. This is that angle brush that I base coated all the things with. And I'm going to just put an oval, okay? Just going to do a quick little oval. They don't have to be perfect. And again, another oval. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't want it to be too terribly big either, okay? And then, let's see. And then this one requires a little bigger of an oval because it's a bigger flower. Just a little bit of an oval. Okay. Before that dries, we want to dip our brush in just a little bit of white. Got a dirty brush, right? And we're just going to sweep some of that white in there. Oh, goodness gracious. I can hear Raylan singing in her room. These don't have to be perfect. It's okay if they're a little bit translucent. It's going to add to the texture of this flower. These flowers do not need to be perfect. Just adding a little bit of white. I started watching on my lunch break, snuck my earbuds in to watch on my desk. Anna. Showing a little ingenuity over there. She's like, ooh, I don't want to miss the end result of this. So I know it's a little shiny, but if you look through, I literally just swept some white in there, okay? So this one right here, because it's bigger, it's going to require a little bit more brush stroke to make it, we want it to look a little bit like the others, but we don't want to necessarily work it too much. And I think that's perfect. Now, here's the part that really makes or breaks the, let me see if I can find the brush that does this. Let's see, where are all my brushes? Where'd they go? Where'd you go? This will work. It's a really crappy just brush. It's just you can use a round brush, a thicker round brush. Sheila says, girl, this is the only girl time I'm getting lately. Miss you so much. Oh, I know all the people in your house over there are working on that new house. And so you're probably stuck by yourself while you're working at home. You know, starting tomorrow, I won't get a whole bunch of girl time either unless we're painting live because kids go back to school tomorrow. We're on a vacation here today because of, I think, President's Day. I didn't look at the calendar to see why. I just knew they were out. So I'm going to just do some really loose dots. And as I get, and I'm just going in the contour of this, this center. And I'm just kind of like tapering them off and like lessening my pressure. Over here, I'm making it a little bit more built up. Okay, you don't want to overdo it though, okay? So I got a little bit bigger dots. That means I'm just pressing down a little harder. Then as I get over off to the side and I'm curving it around, I'm just kind of like barely touching it. And I'm just kind of boop, 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 boop. Now, let's do it over here. Let's do this one. I think I got to bump it back just so I don't, yeah, that's enough room for me. All right, a little bit of white, not a lot. Let's see. Go boop, 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 boop. And then boop, 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 boop. Just a little bit. It just gives it a little bit of, hey, I'm here. Just, hey, I'm here. And remember, the most important part is just going along the contour. Boop, 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 boop. And just managing your size. I'm going to go over here and do a few more. So when we bump back, see how those flowers really took shape? And once all the shiny goes away, you'll really be able to see how they play well together. Okay. Oh, I love it. Oh, this is so pretty. I just got here, had a doctor's appointment today. We'll need too much. We'll need to watch the replay. I don't know what I was trying to read there. Just realized I never subscribed to your page on here. Sheila's one of my closest crafty friends, y'all. I am shook. I am flabbergasted. Might be stalking you in all the places now. Oh my god. Well, you're a really organized person, so you probably had a whole like, oh, she said she'd be there Thursday, so you probably set an alarm. I was gonna say, how are you always here when I'm live? Sheila's always here. All right, so we have literally, oh wait, I'm lying. 3. I was about to say 2, but it's 3 steps. Well, Lisa, I'm so glad you're here. How'd your doctor's appointment go? I mean, without getting too personal. I know this is the interwebs and anybody can be watching. But was it good? Are we good? We good? I hope we're good. I'm praying that you're good. I've got to schedule a doctor's appointment here pretty soon. Uh, that's just typical one that all us ladies have to schedule that none of us want to schedule. No, they always say schedule it around your birthday, but who wants to do that? So I never schedule it around my birthday. I have it scheduled for the spring. Because once I'm done, I come home and I get to go out into the yard and play in the flowers. Right, I love gardening, and so usually I'll go outside and I'll go tend to the garden. But both of them, to be honest, right. Mine is on my birthday. Girl, go reschedule that. Go reschedule. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. This is what I want you to schedule for yourself on your birthday. I want you to schedule a bite to eat. I want you to go pick your favorite spot to have lunch, even if you go by yourself. My favorite spot comes with pie. I love to go to this one place and have it's a strawberry pie, and I'm a July baby, so a strawberry pie with real whipped cream on top. Oh my gosh, I'll have to, on my birthday. I'll have to post a picture of it. It's like you can see the deliciousness through the picture. Um, just to follow up on surgery. Oh, from December, I hear you on that. Oh, right. I will not have to have those anymore. Yay! Oh, well, that's exciting. I'm jealous. A lunch with yourself, and it was Sheila. That sounds like the perfect birthday present. All right, let's get the loop de loos out of the way because I want to do the loop de loos, and then I want to do my wording. Okay, I don't want my loop de loos to go on my vines. It's my loop. Marie Mosley, look at you pop it in. I want to do my loop de loos under my words. And y'all know me, I'm not a fan of doing words. So the fact that this has words on it, I'm already cringing. But won't make it through. We'll get through it somehow. All right, so I'm going to take both greens and I'm going to mix them together. So I have my Hauser medium or Hauser light, whichever one you want to do, and I have my light green, which you can use light lime, pistachio mint, any of the light greens that you want to use. I think something sage is in the supply list that comes with your free printable template. So if you're looking for the supply list, this comes with the free printable template. It looks like this. And when you opt into the free printable template, which is on my website, just put the word spring down in the comments and I'll come back and link it for you so you don't have to go searching for it. But the supply list comes with it. So you get all the paint colors as well. All right. So I'm going to take both greens right here and I'm going to mix them together. All right. I'm probably going to do a little bit more. Yeah, no, this is perfect. This is fine. All right, I'm making a completely new color. Okay. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want it to work with both, but I don't want it to matchy match either one because look, we have it variegated here. Okay. It's not going, and I'm going to wet it. We want it to be inky. We don't want it to be soupy. We just want it to be inky. We want it to flow. We want it to flow. That's not wet enough. And this is one of those things that it's hard for me to describe. Like you don't want your colors to like whenever you mix. You want it to stay in its own little puddle. You don't want it to necessarily start spreading all over your paint palette. But you don't want it to be so thick that it's you can't like really scroll with it, okay? We need a wet brush, but don't let that dirty paint water ruin your day either. Need a wet brush and wet paint. All right, so I'm rolling my brush. I don't know if you can see that in the corner. I'm rolling my brush I'm getting the majority of the excess off. And I'm going to start. And if that freaks you out, just pause. Okay. Breathe. Breathe. We've blow dried everything. So you have about 3 seconds to get a baby wipe and wipe it up. Okay. But I'm happy with it. And you don't necessarily want to have to go over it again. But if you do, do it with very light pressure and the very tip of your brush. Okay. Very light pressure. These are supposed to be barely there. These are not supposed to be distracting. These are just supposed to be a little bit of visual interest. And it's okay that it goes in and out. You don't want it to be 100% solid line work. Like if you look right here, let me get real close. If you look right there, it almost fades completely out. Okay. I like that. I want to keep that. I'm not going to paint over it. I just want to make sure that you know from about 10 feet away, this is a vine. Okay. That's a vine. Okay. I don't want it to be like so distracting that all you can see is vine work. You get me? You get me? Are we tracking here? Oh, thank you, Judy. Now, on this other one, I normally would move my design around to where this was closest to me, but I kind of want to keep it up there. So I'm dipping my brush in that really wet paint that we just created. Let's see, let's go. All right, I like that. So I'm just filling in voids. Like there's a big void over here, okay? That's my end goal. I want to get it all the way over here. And if you're wondering how does she do that? I'm sorry, I don't know how to teach that other than just keep your arm very, very loose. Don't go real close to your bristles. Back up a little bit, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2. Go loop, de loo. Okay, loop. And if you need, take a screenshot of that. Go practice it. Get you a mixed media pad. Go practice that. I go one direction, loop up. Okay, so when I do a curly Q and I get to the other loop of the curly Q, all of a sudden I change directions and I go the opposite direction. That's my general curly Q, okay? Look here, I did it down here too. I went one direction. When I came back up, all of a sudden I went whoop, and I went the other direction. Roxana, hint of a wisp of a yes, just a little wispy line. Just a little wispy line. Well, I don't know where all this is coming from. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's driving me crazy. Little shiny flecks of, looks like plastic. All right, so I like that little wispy line right there. So I'm going to leave it alone. And with just the lightest little pressure. Now, this is where I will get real close to like I'm writing with a pen, okay? Because I want to get really precise. I'm just going to add some definition, okay? Now, the sweet spot is if you could have done that the first time around without having to do that, but sometimes you can't, and it's okay going back and touching it up. One thing you don't want is you just don't want a big old glob of paint on your brush because that's just going to muddy it up. I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it alone. And you don't want to like really worry about it. Like don't stress yourself out over that. Like look at that. They're not perfect, but you're never going to notice it. One, because the words are going slap dab on top of it. Okay. It's just visual interest. It's just filling in some of these voids. That's all it is. And it's totally skippable. You could have totally skipped that. If that's out of your comfort zone, don't take it on quite yet. Go practice it somewhere else, like in a mixed media pad or on some scrap wood or on my favorite place, craft paper. So craft paper being like, almost like a paper sack. That's all this is. And I practice on this all the time. It kind of gives you the feel of wood. It kind of soaks up paint like wood. If you get grocery sacks, paper grocery sacks from the grocery store, those are amazing to practice on because they really do mimic your wood quite well. Hey, Roxana. I can't ever make the flowers look like yours, but I'm going to paint this one and give it a try. So I'm telling you, the trick is wet base coat, and dirty your brush. Get that base coat color on your brush when you go to do this, the accent color. It gives it balance. Yes, it balances everything out. One side doesn't look heavier than the others. Y'all, this is my most... Here we go. Wait, okay, I'm going to let y'all vote. Should we do the words first, or should we do the shading first? There's only one thing that we have to shade. There's only one shading, okay? One step in shading. Should we do the shading first, or should we do the words first? Because I'm dreading the words, y'all. This is what I get for adding words to a design. I have to paint them. I'm not a hand letterer, and everybody knows this about me. It's not my favorite thing to do. I am very envious of people who just naturally, like Marie Mosley, she's naturally good at the hand lettering. Okay, so Sheila says, do the words and the end, and end with something that makes you happy. Okay, Roxana says shading. Deanna says shading. Oh, wait, but Pam says words. Oh, wait. Okay, get those words out of the way. You know, I kind of like the way y'all are thinking. God, but I just don't want to do it. Like, oh, okay. Let's just knock them out, okay? Let's just knock them out. We're going to use a paint pen. Just ruins my day sometimes, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's see. I really need, what size? What size do I want? I have paint pens. I'm going to cheat on this one. Sometimes I do. Ooh, my friend, who gave me this? Regina Martin gave me this at a paint retreat that we went on not too long ago. I say not too long ago. It was about 2 years ago at this point. And it's a really good paint pen. I usually go for a Posca one, but because these are really scripty letters, here, I'll get you closer. This one doesn't scratch either. Are you penciling them in first or just right? Girl, Angela, I love the confidence you have in me. That's cute. Girl, I ain't hand lettering nothing. No, they're etched. This is an etched blank. It has the words etched in there. So where's my design? Oh, here it is. So the flowers are etched. The centers are not. Okay. So you can make these into any flowers you want. So the centers are not, but the flower, the shape of each flower is, the leaves are, and the words are. Okay. So you can do this background however you want. These lines are not etched in there. You can stencil a background. You can do polka dots. You could break out some sandpaper and distress it yourself. But the important parts are like the flowers, the leaves, and the words. They're all etched on. The template comes with the exact same things. Oh, is that a no? It's a Faber Castell. I know I'm not saying that. A Faber Castell. No, but I do like that it really doesn't scratch when you write. I mean, there is a texture. There's a little bit of a noise, but it's nowhere near the bullet tip of a Posca pen, which are my preferred. I'm just nervous about these because I have not tried to seal with this yet. And I don't know if they bleed as much as some other paint pens do. Or run, not bleed, but run. So I like to seal with a, what is that called? A brush on sealer. My trick with a paint pen is light pressure and move with your shoulder, not with your hand. You notice my wrist doesn't really move. Now, if you have shaky hands, like if you have a medical condition that shakes, like sometimes my hand will shake because of a medical condition that I have, I will move my wrist. But in most situations, I'm moving my entire arm. And I'm keeping my wrist real stiff. Okay. It is a nice little smooth. I mean, I've used it a couple of times, but I'm just tried and true to my Posca pen. So I'm kind of impressed with how this thing is reacting. I'm really liking the fact that it's not scratchy. And I really don't use a bunch of different colors in Posca pen. If you like to use a bunch of colors, Posca pen is probably a little bit more versatile But if all you use is a black and a white, I bet you can find this in both black and white. She gifted it to me and she said, my life will be changed. And I'm like, I mean, if I was a hand letterer, but I'm not. So I'm like, I will. I told her, I was like, I will probably see the quality. Sometimes if you give a quick spray, yes. And there's also a little tip that I've shared with some friends. It's not tried and true. It's just a quick little pinch. Cheap hairspray. If you spray it with cheap hairspray real quick. Now I don't know about this pen, so I'm not about, but Posca pen. A cheap hairspray, and then it'll buy you a half a layer of wiggle room. It'll be like as if you put a half a layer of sealer on. So it'll give you a little bit of wiggle room. Doesn't work magic, but it does help a little bit. I don't tell that one too often because there is a finesse to it. I do like the shape of this brush though. It's almost like a brush pen. I wonder if Posca pens come in. So look at me still trying to go back to my Posca pen. I do like the shape of the brush for these scripty letters. Let's see. Sometimes I will bust out my brush and just fill this in with paint itself. I do prefer paint over paint pen, but I prefer the ease of paint pen over hand painting just because I'm not a hand letterer. Painting in your letters, it's just like doing your vines. You've got to get your paint just right for your to get a nice clean letter. And if you're having to go over it multiple times with your paintbrush, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So I don't usually opt for painting them in. I will normally just bust out my paint pen. I prefer stencil. If I know this is something that I'm going to paint multiple of, man, I will bust out my Cricut, make me a stencil, and call it a day. Stencils are my all-time go-to when it comes to lettering, just of how much lettering gets under my skin. But so just know, if you're a crafter and you love painting, but there's a part that you're just like, I wish I could do this whole thing without that part of the process. If I could just speed past that part, I'd be the happiest little crafter. Just know we all have those little moments. And lettering is mine. Sealing may be yours. Hey, cutting out the wood itself may be yours. You never know. Everybody has that one little pet peeve. What's yours? The tip is bristled like a. Okay, so Posca does have one. Dry it really good and then seal it. I use a pen before and it works. Okay. So Roxana is vouching for it. I've sealed with spray using that one, and so Angela says it seals just fine with a spray sealer. Yeah, Posca will splatter. Like if you're not careful and you press down your Posca pen, it will splatter. Oh gosh, my whole wrist just shook on that. I told y'all my hands will shake sometimes. My hands will drop the paintbrush. I can't feel my hands a lot. I can't feel my face. There's just little quirks about my body that it's just doesn't work at optimal performance. And sometimes my hand will lose feeling mid-use. Oh, and that's the most annoying thing. And then all of a sudden it starts shaking. Usually I can continue painting, especially if I'm live. It doesn't bother me until it really doesn't bother or hinder me from doing what I need to do. It's just my brain and my hand can't communicate anymore because my brain will say do something and my hand's like, I don't know where I'm at. Let's see. It's almost like putting a mirror in front of a goldfish. All of a sudden, all it sees is itself, and it thinks that there's someone else there. My hand is like, I don't know where I'm at on the project. Okay, almost done with spring. Hello will go a lot faster because it's a lot of the same like movements. Oh, Shaylin's here. I tried to download the files for this, and it just says error. Huh? Hold on. Okay. Are you downloading them from the studio or are you downloading them from the website? Because the website, it should act just like any other template you've ever bought from the website. Now, if you're downloading them from the studio, it may be that you're logged into a different email account. Shaylin, I'll get you taken care of though. I will get you taken care of. Okay, so I've got to. Okay, here we go. Oh, oh, I hate hand lettering. All right, here we go. Like I said, the hello is more of a stick. So it's like a lot of straight lines. So it goes a lot faster. Nice like stick lettering. I'm going to fill in the middle. Here we go. Do a little crossbar. There we go. All right. I don't know how fast this dries. Okay, it seems like it's dry. Okay. I'm afraid to put my hands on it. My kids are being so patient. I told them that we'd go grab lunch after I got done painting, and they are just being angels. Now I don't know which one to ask. I may just pick up whichever one they want. She said McDonald's. I'm probably going to veto that option. I'm like, let's see what your brother wants. Let's see what your brother wants. I mean, I got to eat too. Okay, here we go. Almost done. And then we'll get into the shading and then we're done, y'all. What kind of pens? Okay, this right here. We're just trying it out. It's the, oh, that's what you were asking, Marie. Oh, I never noticed that. So that's okay. There you go. Take a quick screenshot. You're halfway and it's looking great, girl. Almost done. Almost done. If I could quit holding my breath, I don't know. If you're wondering why I like talk mid sentence and all of a sudden stops because I'm holding my breath. I don't know why I do that when I fill in the wording. All right, just the O. So I do, it's a little thicker than my actual pen. So I do the outside line, the inside line, and then I fill it in. You know, I just realized this is sitting on my belly. And I was afraid I was getting paint on my sweatshirt, and it's one of my favorite sweatshirts. I hold my breath when I personalize at craft fair. Jen, don't do that. You can't be passing out at a craft fair. I'm at home. If I pass out, my dog will at least try to wake me up. Ooh, that's so dangerous. But yeah, no, I like anytime I do any kind of wording.
And sit down, he wants to go outside.
Who does? Ramo is doing just fine.
No. Every time when you sit down sometimes, he wants to go outside.
Oh yeah, he does. Oh, that lettering just looks so nice. And that's a good black too. That's like black. That's like lamp black. Like it's so good. Okay. So there we go. Okay. Let's see. From the website. Okay. Yeah, I will definitely. I'll send it to you. I do that too. My watch reminds me. Don't forget to breathe. Are you mopping floors before you actually sweep? That's backwards, baby. Y'all ready for the final touch? Y'all ready for the final? Because I mean, it looks good now, right? Like it looks good, but let me show y'all. Okay, so let me see if I can do this without everything falling down. Okay, so that looks good. That shading around the edge just makes everything pop, though. Oh, you know what we haven't painted?
What?
The berries. I knew it was looking a little. It was looking a little. Hold on. We got 2 steps. Hold on. The berries.
No, stop.
What?
I like it.
I like it too, but it needs berries.
Mom.
But Ray.
We don't always need berries.
Oh, we always need berries.
Berries are.
All right, so we're gonna take polka dot dauber, okay? Your template had berries, and you gotta add those. Okay, Marie was trying to help me out there. It wasn't until I had a side-by-side comparison. So we're going to take our wild berry, and we're just going to saturate our polka dot dauber, and we're going to add a little bit of white, if I can find some white to add. All right, we're going to add white just to a smidge. Just to a smidge of it. We're not going to, like, create a whole new color. So we've got wild berry, and I'm going to dip it in some white. Okay, Raylan, don't go too crazy with the mop, baby.
Okay. What is this one?
All right, so all I did was I just put it down on my palette, twisted it a couple times, and I call that primed. Okay. See, words are done, and now you're back to a happy place. I am back to a happy place. Can you post a picture of the paint pen, or link it? Okay. So if you put the word spring down in the comments, I will link that pin for you. It'll come with a buffet of all the other links too, but I will have the paint pen there for you as well, okay? Promise. Okay, so I'm going to do press, quarter turn, pick it up. Let me get you closer. The word spring will get you a list of all the things. Press, quarter turn, pick it up. Do you see how that white just kind of just a smidge? It just gets a little smidgen. I'm going to go over my words. It's okay. Pick it up. All right. So I'm going to go back over to my wild berry. Okay. Just saturate it. Pick up a little bit of white. Okay. A little bit of white. Prime it, which just means push it down on your palette. Get the majority of that paint off. And it just kind of adds that white in there. And it makes it look, it shades your berry for you, okay? I'm going to go up here. There's a little hole up here. I'm going to put 3 berries. I like to do my big holes with 3. And then I'll go in. Raylan, can you not? Raylan, baby? Go. Go. All right, so now I'm going to go up here. And put 2. I'm just wherever there seems to be a little bit of a hole. And then I'm going to come over here, maybe do 1. Ooh, just fill in that little spot. I don't necessarily want to put a big thing of berries there. I don't want it to be berry heavy. Get it? Berry heavy.
I get it, Mama.
You get it?
Yeah,
I'm going to kind of mimic.
And berry heavy will have berries in it.
That's right. I'll do 1 down here just to kind of balance it for the one that we put up there. And I'm going to put 2 over here just to kind of balance. There's not really enough room to put 3, but there is a hole. So I'm going to put 2 there. Now I could put 1 right here and right here, but I feel like it would make it kind of heavy on the berries. I'm done with this. So I'm going to throw this in my paint water so this doesn't dry. If this dries, this is ruined. But if I throw it in my paint water and the sponge stays wet after I'm done live, I can go rinse out my brushes and I'll rinse this out and I'll be able to, it's reusable. Let's see. I think the berries really make us, it really does. I love it. My favorite kind of berries are blueberries to do because of the color combination that I like to use. But these kind of reminded me of raspberries, and those are springy, right? The lemon blueberry signs have always been my favorite, but this one is a close second. Oh, Marie. I almost did lemon blueberry for this. I almost did. Raylan Marie. Out of the kitchen, baby girl. You're testing patience that Mama doesn't have. girly. Go. Go, go, go. I'm almost done. I am one step away from being done, okay? Go think about what you want for lunch. For a late lunch. We're going to do a late lunch.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What do you want?
I just said before. McDonald's.
Oh, we're still on that? Okay.
Oh, Mom, guess what?
What?
One time, we get to go inside.
You got to go inside of McDonald's?
Do you want to go in?
Not preferably, but okay. It's faster service.
Yep.
The fact that you know that it's a service
No, it's
at
always
first grade cracks me up. All right, let me finish. I'm almost done. I am about 95% done.
Okay, Mom.
All right, so I've got a little bit of wild berry on my brush. Grandma, you're going to have to go lay down somewhere. We're so close to being done. I do need to blow dry my berries because I'm going to be going over them. So let me do that. Isn't it beautiful, Carol? It's just so cute. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I've really missed your flower templates. Oh, well, it's springtime, so spring and summer come with a lot of flowers. And I have a good bit of fall templates that are going to have some flowers in it, too. I've already got some fall stuff drawn up that are fun, fun, fun. Okay, like I said, we just need to make sure they're dry. Okay. All right, so I've got my water bottle, my trusty water bottle. This just helps the paint spread. Now, over in the paint studio, we use that water bottle like crazy, pretty much on every project. Now, you don't have to use it, but it does make shading and highlighting's job so much easier. So much easier. She is just mopping a dirty floor, y'all.
So it can be clean.
So it can be clean. So it can be clean. That means I'm going to have to let that floor completely dry before I actually go back and actually clean it. We're going to grab lunch after this. I'm almost done. Okay, here we go. Isn't it looking good? Okay. It gives a border without it being a harsh border. Now, if this is not so out of your comfort level, don't feel like you have to commit to shading. You can totally use your paint pen and just get some squiggles around the edge and call it a day. Just be careful whenever you're getting close to those words. Your hand can smear the words. So I have my wrist real propped up. I have it propped up. It's not touching the wood. And I plan to be very careful when I get to those words right there. I don't want my brush to smear.
Where are the berries?
You can't see the berries?
Oh, now I see them.
I'm glad someone said something about the berries. Because I almost forgot. All right, so I'm going to start off of the words because I want to get a good bit of this.
Why can you not?
See, it's smearing. I knew it was going to smear.
Why do you not want to smear?
Baby, because look at that. It's okay. I can go back in with a baby wipe real quick and clean that up.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It looks wonderful.
That's the only place it's going to smear. So I'm going to take a baby wipe.
It looks wonderful.
Oh, that's a dry baby wipe. Can you get, well, it's a wet baby wipe.
Why are there babies on the baby wipe?
Because they're for babies.
Yeah.
But crafters like them too. All right, baby. Give Mama a little elbow room.
Right here.
Yep, that's fine. All right, so that smears. The paint pen smears. Mystery solved. But I did spray it with paint. I mean, in its defense, I did spray it with water. It's okay. Okay, that's good. I can always go over that with a little bit of white and just touch it up. All right. All right, so word to the wise. Don't spray it with water.
I pour it.
I just got my angle brush at an angle, so it's not touching the words anymore. All right, I need elbow room, baby. Yeah, all up in my elbow space.
Does he even look like someone?
Who?
Look.
Oh, your unicorn?
Her name's Cotton Candy.
Her name is Cotton Candy.
Can I show them?
Not right now because Cotton Candy will get fuzzies in my wet paint. But well, I'll post a picture of Cotton Candy in my stories. How about that?
Okay, magic, make this easy. Make it fast and make it wheezy.
What was that?
It's a spell.
It's a spell. Okay.
To make it go faster.
Is that from My Little Pony?
No. She just made up that spell so you can go faster.
Oh, well, I'm almost done. I'm on the home stretch.
What's the butter?
I've got about a third of the way around this blank with this shading brush, and then I'm good to go. I'm going to let it completely dry. I probably will spray because of those words. I prefer a brush-on sealer, but I probably will spray it just for good measure so that everyone on the live has vouched that spraying it does not smear it. So I probably, since this will be the first time I seal it, I probably will use a spray. I do keep spray sealer around. It's just I live in Louisiana and the weather is not very predictable and it's very humid most of the time, and humidity and spray sealer do not mesh well. It just doesn't. And so I like a brush on sealer because it's a little bit more predictable. What are you doing Wednesday morning? Ooh, Sheila, it's a surprise. It's a surprise. Now, if you're in the paint studio, you already know. All you have to do is look at your files, and there's a sneak peek in your files for February. Go on. Is that Daddy's sock? Yeah. Did he take his socks off and just leave them on the coffee table over there? Yep, just like a man.
Well, me and Brandon do that.
Yeah, you do that too, don't you? You get it from your daddy.
No.
All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready for the big backup reveal? Hold on one second. I do want to touch up that.
Oh.
I do want to touch up that G. It's going to bug me. Here we go. I can hear my wind chimes. The wind is picking up. Okay. Ready? Do you see how that shading just gave it some shape? Like it didn't look flat anymore. Like it really kind of bubbled it out a little bit. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. 3D letters would also help with this too. Sheila is so 3D letter. It's just, I'm not. Like, I love 3D cutouts. Now you can. I'm pretty sure that Home Creations has this as one of the designs where you can get 3D cutouts. So it is an option. But I don't know what it is about 3D lettering. I guess it's the glue. Honestly, I guess it's the glue or all the tape involved to make it stick. I really would rather add a different 3D element to it. But you're right. 3D elements would be really pretty on this. The shading really frames it nice. It frames. That's the word. Baby girl, if you don't take it away, he is going to go in timeout, and he doesn't come out till tonight. How about that? You like that? All right. Let's take him away. All right. So she's got her stuffed animal over here, and she's shoving him in my face. No. What are you doing? Okay, so Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. we will be back painting. Now, don't be surprised if I don't pop back in tomorrow and we do a little something fun. It just won't be painting. Let's see. Do you have the stems to the leaf? You can add stems to the leaf. I'm not going to. I started to do that on my first run through. It is in the mock-up, so if you want stems to the leaves, you could. You know what? Just for you, boo, Deanna. I'm gonna throw them in there. We've got a couple minutes. I'm gonna throw them in there. I'm gonna grab a really thin liner brush, a really thin one. They're right here. Okay, really thin. Okay, just real thin. Let me see if no, I want this one. I want this one instead. Come here. Give it to me. Come here. The baby wipe that I threw over there was kind of barricaded out. So here's our liner brush. I'm going to wet it. I'm going to pick up some of that mixed green. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just ever so, it won't take but a second. I didn't like the very heavy lines that adding the leaf stems in. I didn't like the look. But I feel like we can make this work. Okay, all I'm doing is I'm just giving it a little curve to the curve of the leaf. So wherever the leaf is cupping, I'm curving it that way. And the trick to this is the liner brush and the paint. Again, with the loop-de-loos that we did, the little vines. And don't try to make it perfect. It's just like the vines. Don't try to make it perfect. Just give it a little connection, okay? It doesn't even have to fully connect to the flower. Pick up as much paint as often as you need to. 1 or 2 flowers, depending on how long that stem is all that you're going to be able to do with each leaf, okay? Don't be a superhero. Get 1 leaf in. My stomach's about to growl. There we go.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. We're about to go to lunch. There we go. Now it's barely noticeable like that. I see why I was like, I mean, we can in the mock-up. It's there so you can see where they're coming from, but they're barely there and they're not really eye-catching. It's a look. But if it intimidates you, it's a skippable step. It looks just fine without it. Now, with a liner brush, you never want to leave your liner brushes in your paint water. Clean it, get it, even if it's not fully clean, that's dirty paint water. Get it out of there. Otherwise, you're going to ruin the tips of your liner brushes. Alrighty, y'all. So that is our door hanger for our virtual paint party. Now, if you don't want the fun to end, well, then it doesn't have to. This is going to be a week-long paint slinging fun time. And we are going to be back painting Wednesday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're catching the hashtag replay, then don't worry. These lives will live forever in the Facebook world, and you'll be able to watch them at your leisure, okay? But don't forget to set an alarm. Come back and hang with me on your lunch break or while you're painting at home as well at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time Wednesday morning. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.